All right, burning the midnight oil. Hello there, I'm Scotty, and you're not, and we are on Amityville, A New Generation, 1993, or at least 1 year after the last one. They were cranking these on, weren't they? Everything's 1990. Yeah, 1990, 92, 93, I think there was one 91. 91 was cursed, 90 was cursed, 92 was the last one. It's about 10, and now 93. Sounds tired because I am. Like I said, I'm burning midnight oil. It's like 10 minutes to midnight. And I know Charles Bronson's not going to show up. I hope not. But anyway, now, I mentioned this on Twitter. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I get into the review, I want to say, I decided I am going to do the Amityville murders. It's technically a part of this section of the franchise, and I found it on YouTube. So, yeah, it will be all 10. I felt like I'm a completionist. I need to do it. I'm a whore. I gotta do it. So, I've just 4 left. I'll try to knock them all out tomorrow. I think I'll do any more tonight. It's 10 to midnight. Charles Bronson? No. Okay, so I sent out a tweet earlier when I started watching this, and I looked through the cast, and I didn't even look through the cast. I looked through all these, and like, there's a lot of there's a lot of recognizable actors in this movie. Yeah, this one over all the others so far is the most star-studded. They're not big actors, but when you think about like the horror alumni in this, there's a lot. Especially in that category of horror alumni. You know, let's name off the cast. Our main character, Keys Terry. Yeah, Keys Terry. It feels like his name was Terry Keys, but like then someone wrote it wrong and they decided to keep it that way. Because who names their kid Keys? I don't know. He's played by Ross Partridge. Ross Partridge, rather, who you may know as Lonnie from Stranger Things. And he was the guy who was talking to Ian Malcolm on the train in the Lost World of Jurassic Park. His neighbor Suki is played by Julia Nixon Soul, who you may know from movies like Rambo, First Blood Part 2, or Double Dragon. She's been in other things, but those are the two that popped out in my head. His girlfriend Laney, which is ironic, is played by Lala Sloatman, or just Lala, who was in Dream a Little Dream of Me, which featured a character named Laney in it, but she played Shelley, supposed girlfriend of Corey Feldman's character Bobby, even though that didn't really go anywhere. David Naughton from American Werewolf in London. He plays Dick, the landlord guy, and his wife Janet, played by Barbara Howard, who you may know as Sarah from Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Then we have Richard Roundtree, you know, Shaft himself in this movie as a friend of theirs named Polly, which is funny, another ironic because the actor who played Polly was in the second one, and there was a character named Polly, although spelled without an E at the end of his name. But, you know, Terry O'Quinn plays Detective Clark. You may know him as John Locke from Lost, or the friggin' stepfather, you know. You have Robert Russler, who is Grady from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and also he was in Weird Science with Robert Downey Jr., and most recently in Sometimes They Come Back. So, and finally we have Lynn Shay, who plays Nurse Turner, a nurse at this asylum that Keys goes to investigate something at. And, yeah, she's Robert Shade's sister. She was in the Insidious franchise, and cameos in Robert's produced movies. Yeah, so star-studded cast here. So Keys. So for the most part, I kind of enjoyed this movie. It's very 90s, very early 90s grunge type stuff going on. So yeah, for the most part, it's not. I want to say it's better than couple of these, like Curse in 3, maybe. It's better than them. Yeah, excuse me. But it is, kind of generic. And something I noticed while watching this too is that they've kind of dropped the priest angle. Like through the first half of this franchise, there was a lot of priest stuff. The first one had priests. The second one, third one had didn't it? Maybe not something. Then the fourth one did. I know it did. The lamp one had a priest exorcising demons from the lamp, and then they just kind of stopped. There's no priest at all, and this is probably the most, well, I would say most disconnected, but like we do see the house more than the last two flashback stuff. And so I was watching Sinister Cinema's review of this, right? And so they retcon some stuff, and he seems to think that the story, the backstory, Key's backstory is like the DeFeo killings. But there was no survivor except for Ronnie DeFeo. And we find out that Keys is the son of the person doing the killings in the flashbacks. So, I don't know, unless they really retcon it. According to Wikipedia, and if you don't want to get spoiled on this movie, let me tell you, I usually try to read like the first half of the plot for the movies and then stop so I can finish it without spoilers. But this one blatantly tells you the twist right away, and this is not the first part of this movie. First part of the plot on Wikipedia is not the first part of the movie. It's explained throughout the film, but they decided to spell it out at the beginning. The twist in the movie, which is it's revealed. So there's this homeless man that Keys gets a mirror from, and the mirror starts to, cause havoc in this boarding house, killing people. We find out that house is not only from the Amityville house, but that Key's dad's family, who was the homeless guy, his family used to live in that house, and he murdered his family, his mother, his father, his siblings, that stuff. Now, the reason I don't think, I don't agree with Jason on this from Sinister Cinema, is that he was saying that this was the retelling of the DeFeos without, the DeFeo name, but I don't think it is. Because according to Wikipedia, which might not be a very reputable source, but according to Wikipedia, the killings dictated in this take place in 1966. So it even says before the DeFeo killings, but again, that kind of throws a wrench if you're considering that by the time the Lutzes get there, there have been 2 sets of family killings in that house. And once this guy, the first guy, it's Brunner, the homeless guy, was shouting about evil entities. And then DeFeo, supposedly within the canon of this series, is doing the same thing. I don't know. You think they would think, okay, that's 2 incidents, and the Lutzes are saying the same thing, now maybe we need to do something. I don't know. But, yeah, so, according to the Wikipedia synopsis, the events of the Thanksgiving massacre happened before the DeFeos. And you could, then again, you always say that the Lutzes within the canon, since like the second one or so, aren't canon because they never mention them in any of these movies. They just kind of mention the DeFeo stuff. And again, I don't think they have the rights to mention the Lutzes, so I don't know. But, yeah. We also have some nudity in this. I think more than the last 2. Nudity. I think the last one was the first one that had nudity. I think. But you get to see Julia Nixon's soul. You see her tits. And then you can see Lala's tits. You can see that. So yeah, and the mirror killing people. He kills Grady first, or Ray is his name is in this. He kills him first. He's destroying, Suki's uh, paintings. She's an artist, and so is Keys. He's like a photographer guy, trying to do something, his girlfriend, and his girlfriend, I don't know, she's a businesswoman of some sort, and they're all like talking and stuff. And yeah, so the Suki's boyfriend is killed, and then she contemplates like killing herself. She's got like a piece of glass doing this, and she's got this noose hanging in there, And then Dick comes to see her, and she gets some dick. Yeah, he cheats on his wife with her. They do. That's where you see her tits. And you kind of, I saw that, like, something's going on, because she's sitting there in coveralls, and like coveralls with overalls, the strap things, and no shirt. You see the side boob and stuff. I'm like, those are coming off, I guarantee, and they do. And yeah, he basically cheats on his wife, and then she's found dead. He goes to see her. He's like, I can't stop thinking about you, and he goes up there, and she's hung herself. And basically, the wife figures it out, but she doesn't really do anything. But you can tell, look on her face, she figured out why he was up there. And yeah, the mirror starts making him see his dead father, and so he starts to investigate. The homeless man turns up dead, and they find out his name, and looking stuff up, and he starts to see flashbacks. And it's revealed that it's his father, even though the detective already knew it. And I don't understand why the nurse didn't know it. Or maybe she did, because she looks at the file and she's like, you said you're a student? Yeah, I'm a student. Just researching. So I think maybe, she sees the name. Because unlike the detective, he put it says, the beloved father of Keys, Terry. He's like, I didn't tell anyone about that. Like, not even meant to say to do that, but I don't know. Some good acting in this. Decent actors. Some good actors, Shaft. Something like that. Lynn Shade's only a cameo, the nurse here. And then starts seeing stuff. He gets sent back in time. This is not a time travel. He gets sent. It's flashback. Where he is his dad basically, and the mom comes to visit and tells him, But he said he wasn't born yet when the Amityville stuff happened. So was he talking about, because this guy was born in the, like, so they say this stuff happened in 66, this guy was born in 67, 68. So either he's playing older, or she was pregnant with him when it happened, and then she gave birth afterwards. Because we see like introducing them to him, and then we see that the guy killed his wife. So that's why he doesn't believe in the institution of family. He's all against like the family institution and everything, because he's never really had one growing up. So yeah, and he can't remember anything. You think you remember your mom being slaughtered by some guy on the side, but apparently he blocked it completely out. I guess trauma, that works too. But yeah. And he does have some good acting. He doesn't want to believe that this is happening. And then Dick gets killed when he goes up. They have their little art gallery thing in the boarding house, and the power goes out, so Dick goes to check it, and he finds a evil Suki who turns into this mutated creature. But there's some decent effects, not as good as the last one, but some decent ones, and kills him. And then the mirror is now like, it takes him into like a mirror world where he's attacked by evil versions of Suki, Dick, and Ray. and his father is there too. And then he's able to get out of there, but he now is sort of possessed because he has the rifle and he's going to try to reenact it. As he set up this art display, as soon as you started talking earlier, oh, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna this diorama, and I'm gonna set up like a Thanksgiving dinner with turkey and stuff. She's like, a turkey. He's like, yeah, I was gonna do some mold on there, but I felt that to signify the decaying of the typical family, but I decided I'd going too far, and so that he set up this whole thing of Thanksgiving dinner, and you got Polly, you got Lainey, and you got Janet there, Dick's wife, and there's this thing with Polly in a chair with a ticking time clock and a squirt gun. And there's also a rifle. That's where he gets the rifle. That doesn't really. I thought it was going to play into something. I don't know. But the ticking reminded me of the clock from the last one. But nothing really came with that. I don't know. And he has the rifle and he's going to do something. He had previously called the detective to tell him he needs help. Detective shows up with another cop and tells him, "Hey, don't do anything." To his deputy, "Hey, don't." And he shoots the mirror, and so the mirror is now destroyed. So the mirror didn't have protection powers like the clock, unfortunately, for the mirror. And we get equipped from the detective. Well, look what you did. Or you made a bad decision or something like that. 7 years bad luck, and you get the Terry Quinn smile there. The little subtle Terry Quinn smile. And yeah, the movie basically ends there. There's no wrap around, nothing after this. So I don't know. Does he get arrested? Because he did point a gun at everyone. And I don't know. Dick's body is going to be found by the police in that there somewhere, right? They already know the Sugi's dead, and he had a gun, so he's like the lead suspect, right? So you think he'd be taken downtown, downtown, take him downtown, and he'll go downtown. But yeah, this wasn't bad. I'll give it middle of the road. More so, better than some of the other ones, but not bad. There was a lot of talking, but I think, unlike some of the other ones that were a lot of talking, I think this talking moved the story forward, and like the talking was more about him trying to figure out what's going on, and there was a lot of psychological horror stuff, which was good in this film, and Keys himself was kind of a likable character. He wasn't like a dick or anything. Like, he didn't believe in institution of family, but that's because he didn't have one. The whole backstory. I just feel like the whole retcon of like, oh, there's another family before the DeFeos, and I don't know. But it's fine. Middle of the road. So this means now I have Dollhouse, the remake, Awakening, and Murders to do. 4 left. Can I knock them all out tomorrow? Possibly, if I just keep going. But I don't know. We'll see. So what are your thoughts on Amityville New Generation? Comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.